Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have my husband on the channel. I am so thankful that he would like to be in this video because if you didn't already know, my husband is actually a kindergarten through 6th grade music teacher too. We are adorable and we met at a summer, what was it, ASU class for, was it ORF?
It was ORF level.
Yeah, we took ORF level 1 together, and so yeah, we met there, and then the rest is history, as they say. So we are going to talk about 5 lesson ideas for you guys that we are currently doing, or we did last week in our classroom that we really liked. These lesson ideas are not our original ideas, so we will be linking all of the blog posts and YouTube videos down below, but we'd like to share with you guys what we've been loving in our classroom lately. So the first lesson idea I want to share with you guys is a cute little song called Hot Chocolate. It is from Music for Kiddos. So Kevin actually told me about her, and she's a music therapist. She specializes in younger kiddos, and she just comes up with really catchy songs. And sometimes I feel like with younger songs, like some of them are just so cheesy, but these are just like perfectly like cute, but also like not too cheesy.
Yes, yeah. I do not like cheesy songs.
Kevin really doesn't. I usually have a higher tolerance for that.
Yes. So, but yeah, she really specializes in early childhood and song making, along with her music therapist work. And they're so fun, and they just get stuck in your head. It's really
they're
cool.
Really catchy. All my kids were like smiling on their little Google Meet. So I did it with kindergarten and 1st grade. It goes like this. I'll share kind of the original version, and then she has like an elephant version and a little mouse version that you guys can check out. I will link all the things below. So it goes like this. Hot chocolate, yummy, 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 hot chocolate. Pour the cocoa whipped cream on top. 'Cause it's hot chocolate, yummy, 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 hot chocolate. One for me and one for you, hot chocolate, it'll do. And then we like sip our little hot cocoa at the end. Okay, so yes, definitely check it out. It is so worth it.
Alright everyone, for our second lesson idea that we are loving in our classrooms right now, comes from a YouTube channel that I am totally digging right now, Mr.
Really
DelGaudio.
We are binge watching those videos.
Yeah, they are just amazing and very creative and movement inspired. And I love anytime that I can get my students moving. So he has a video called The Chef, and it uses music from Brahms,
Hungarian
dance number 5, and it's a piece that has been I know very common in many curriculums. But the movement that he puts to it, or at least displayed on this video, is inspired by making this gigantic soup as a chef.
I like about his, like they say, like it tells a story. Like he has a theme that goes with like each song, a lot of them, or a lot of the pieces.
Yes.
So it tells a story.
Right.
Okay, keep going, sorry.
So it's getting kids to be listening and engaging with classical music through creative movement. And it's just a blast because you're stirring this big huge soup, adding a bunch of spices, crying when chopping the onion. It's just a blast. And so I've found it a really valuable experience for my kids to get them to listening to classical music and enjoying it. Yeah,
and I did it with mostly kindergarten through 3rd grade, but even just one lesson I had like a little extra time, and I was like, you know what, 5th grade, let's do this, and they loved it too. Like they got a kick out of it, so it really could be for any grade level.
I did it with every single grade.
Yeah.
But I love having all my kids do that stuff.
Yeah.
So fun.
So around this time of year, I love to pull out this poem by Rob Amshin. It's called I've Got a Loose Tooth, and it is just a great time because usually 1st graders are really starting to lose their teeth right about now, and they love showing it off. Like today I started doing this, and I don't know how many kids I had right close to their camera showing off all of their missing teeth. So it is called I've Got a Loose Tooth, and again by Rob Amshin. He has a video on YouTube about this, but it goes like this. I've got a loose tooth, a wiggly jiggly loose tooth. I've got a loose tooth, a hanging by a thread. Someone stole my loose tooth, my wiggly jiggly loose to now I've got a nickel and a hole in my head. And I always like to ask them like, wait, what? Like, is it literally a hole in your head? And then they like, oh no, it's like our missing teeth. And so that is like the first question I ask them. And then each part, there's 3 sections where they're kind of highlighted, like loose tooth, wiggly jiggly, and then thread and head. And so each of those, you're gonna add a body percussion to it or an instrument. And this is a great opportunity where you can work with your kids to be like, okay, for loose tooth, what should we do? Should we do clapping? Should we do padding? I tend to like loose tooth is clapping. So I've got a loose tooth, a wiggly jiggly loose tooth. So we do the whole thing with clapping. And then I'll add wiggly jiggly. What should we do for wiggly jiggly? And they might be like wiggly jiggly or wiggly jiggly or wiggly jiggly or wiggly jiggly. So they add on that. And then thread and head, a lot of times I like snap or I like a good stomp. But again, guiding those kids through, and they get to make the choices for what those words become, either in body percussion or in instruments.
A great extension, you know, if you have extra time, and this would probably be for a post-COVID time.
Yeah, totally.
Would be, I love having my first graders, after we've talked about the different timbres of the percussion family instruments, putting them into groups and having them choose 3 different percussion instruments that have different timbres that would then, you know, substitute in for the body percussion elements. So it's allowing them that creative freedom to choose the instrument, even if maybe they didn't choose the body percussion earlier, for example. They get to make a musical choice that way, and it's a blast.
It really is, and we were just talking about this earlier, that we have been throwing a lot of like play-alongs at our kids, and it's just a lot of like performing and copying and like do this. So we've been talking about we really need to like start getting creating back in, which I feel like can be a little more challenging, but also we can do it. We just need to like refocus. So this would be a great one for it.
Agreed. Yeah, I think it's so important for them to make musical choices, to develop their own musicianship, independence, all of that.
Yep.
Everybody I know struggles with finding things that appeal to upper elementary students. And I have found something that really interests my students is talking about Foley artists and what they do in terms of talking about, you know, careers in music. It's, you know, such an interesting and unique thing that I just don't think most people are aware of even exists, right? And Foley artists are, of course, the sound engineers that reproduce sound effects or enhance those sound effects in movie or video or you know, in post-production before it goes out. And so one idea that I've been trying to incorporate a lot in distance learning is utilizing BandLab. And I'm kind of combining a variety of things here, but BandLab is a DAW or a DAW, which is a digital audio workstation, kind of like GarageBand or Soundtrap, or, you know, Logic Pro if you're going professional, Fruity Loops, all those kinds of things. But anyways, I have found that BandLab is really approachable for elementary students. And what I've loved having them do, and it really has nothing to do with band necessarily, it's really allowing you to work with loops or sound effects and organize them however you'd like. So it's really approachable for kids. And with regards to Foley artists, I found a project from another YouTube channel. I can't remember the name of it right now.
We'll put it in the
yeah, we'll put it in the links below. Where he talked about taking all the sounds from a trailer for a Halo video game and having his students use BandLab and the sound effect packs within it to essentially add all of the sound effects into that trailer, you know, themselves. And I'm really excited to actually try this out this year with my 6th graders and maybe my 5th graders. I'm really excited about it, and I know that they always find learning about Foley artists to be just really fascinating.
Oh yeah.
You know, thinking about using watermelon to simulate stepping in snow kind of thing. With that said, that's what I'm doing with my 5th and 6th graders right now. In addition, BandLab is you know, as I said, a great way for kids to compose virtually, because it's all browser based, so they don't have to download anything. And so my kids all have Chromebooks, and so this is a perfect way for them to be able to use a program like GarageBand, for example, you know, anytime that they want. And I've had a lot of success with it. It's pretty fun.
I've heard so many good things, but I haven't really jumped into that at all. So it's definitely something I will look forward to using if we do continue virtual. I don't have as much access to technology, but it's definitely something I'm going to keep in mind.
Right.
It sounds really cool.
The other thing I just love, real quick, I know I'm talking about BandLab a lot, but you can make templates. So for example, let's say I create like a little 4-beat groove that I like of a few different loops. And then you can send that template out to kids, and they could then manipulate it, shorten the loops, duplicate them, or adjust them to meet their musical preference, and then submit it to me. So they don't have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
And I really like that element.
I think that would really help, because it's just so overwhelming just to like start from scratch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome. For our last lesson that we're loving is one that Kevin has told me to do for a very long time. And we have this joke in our relationship that always takes me about 3 months to do something. And I'll be like, oh, look, did you talk to me about this? Like, this cool new idea. And he'll be like, yeah, I told you about that like a few months ago. So
never fails.
It's sevens. I feel like
though.
sevens is actually a pretty well known like body percussion game, but I have never done it. So if you are like me and I've never done it, it's great for 4th, 5th, 6th. I am gonna link a video below that I found that someone made for, I think it's Music with Miss Bliss, or yeah, Miss Bliss, and she made it for distance learning, and it's for a student, and I kind of copied her format of teaching it. She does a really good job of breaking it down. So if you are not familiar with sevens, I don't think I'm gonna really go into it because it is pretty well known, and in that video she goes through it, but it's just a body percussion pattern, and it goes through it with 7 beats each time, and you're repeating them, and you have 4 parts that go along with it, and they get more challenging. So it's like padding, then padding, clapping, and then padding, clap, snap, and then pat, cross, pat, clap, pat, something. Yeah, I used that. So what I liked about her video is she did 5 levels. So you first just teach it to them very slowly, methodically, and then after that you say, okay, the challenge is I'm gonna set my metronome, and I just did like a YouTube metronome, 100 beats per minute, and I said this is level 1, and we just stay with the metronome for that full. Then it was 150 beats per minute, then 200, then 250, then 300. And 300 is pretty fast. I usually mess up too, but the kids get a really good kick out of it, and it's just a fun challenge for them. So I like that little extension that she added.
Yeah, I think you can use also any piece of music that's in 4. Works really well with it.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Any backing track that you can find on YouTube.
The groove, yeah.
Again, anything that's in 4, you know, anything that they're going to hear on the radio. I like making that connection with my students, saying, you know, you could really do this with any song on the radio because most all of them are in 4.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I think they found that
yeah,
interesting.
That's
sure.
a nice little, another extension. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you'll be seeing a little bit more of Kevin, because if you didn't already know, Kevin is actually does a lot behind the scenes. He is just like constantly my soundboard, and like comes up with some of the really cool ideas. I feel like even like on Instagram once I shared one of his ideas or lesson ideas, and he like DM'd me, it's like, hey, that was my idea. So I really am excited that Kevin's wanting to be a little bit more in front of the camera, and because he does a lot. It really is a partnership with Music and Motivate and the channel and our TPT store, and so I'm just really lucky to have him. And so yeah, so we'll be together maybe in a few more videos coming up, and thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, whoops, I'm already recording. All right. You nailed it. Good job.